historic season, the Anderson Cup championship season. Second time we've won the Anderson Cup. So thanks, Storm fans, for all your support. Anytime we have a press conference, it's always a big deal and something that we're really excited about, and that's the same here as well today. So first, I'd like to introduce our President of Hockey Operations, Steve Lowe, and he will continue on with the press conference and tell everyone about the great news that we have coming soon. Thank you.
Well, you don't have to clap. It's fine. Hey, welcome everybody. So it's pretty cool here this season. I think if we look back at Kirk Brooks' ownership from a team, I think we have now written almost every single record by the Tri-City Storm. So first and foremost, I really want to thank Kirk for his leadership and guidance over the last 10 years. He's owned this team. I've been part of it 8 years. And the culture that he's built here is impeccable and right from top and bottom. So I'm pretty proud now that every single trophy in our league has Kirk W. Brooks' name on it. And that was one of my driving forces to do it for that man. And we've accomplished that. So Kirk, thank you for everything you've done here for the community and everything you've done for us. So with that said, keeping in our culture and our family-orientated environment, like how we like to run things here, we're going to introduce a new player. He's going to be our first-round pick. We're going to tender him. His name is Davis Burnside. I don't think there's been a player I've coveted more than Davis in my 8 to 10 years doing this. I think I've been recruiting the family since November. I think he had 5, 6 tender options in our league. And I'm not gonna, it was hard. It came down to the wire between us and the Chicago Steel that he's from Chicago. So it was tough. But most importantly, other than player, the reason why I wanted him was because of the individual he is and the individual that he's going to be part of the Kearney community and the school, the parents, and everything about the Burnside as a family fits our culture and our community in Kearney. So with that said, I'm going to introduce Coach. He can talk to him about as a player, but I couldn't be more excited. I think probably Tori Dello would be up there too. You guys remember Tori, and I believe this player is going to have the same impact that Dello did in this community. So, all right, with that said, Anthony.
As Steve said, thank you guys for coming out. I mean, I think just obviously in my time being here, taking a look around and the numbers and the support and the people in our community and the way you guys have backed us this year, it's been special. As Steve said, the announcement today is that we're going to tender a player. There's a couple parts that go along with this. The first thing is the player has to be elite. They've got to be a good enough player to play in this league of men as a 16-year-old. That's a special thing that's hard to find. It's something Steve identified early on. I think we started talking about Davis in September, and he was his #1 target all year long. So the first part's the player. The second part that's probably even more important is it's got to be a young man who's mature enough to handle being away from home as a 16-year-old. Davis is going to be a sophomore in high school next year. So I know a lot of you guys have kids. That to be able to be mature enough to be away from home, to come from a good enough family where you could handle that. You could handle being around older guys. You could handle time management. You could handle, the workload of school and hockey. It's a special thing. So it's those two things. And I think the third thing, and Steve kind of alluded to it, is you've got to have an organization that has the infrastructure, the support from the top, from ownership, from management, where you have the resources and the support to be able to win a recruiting battle to get a player like this. So very proud to say, not only do we identify a player who's got the talent and who's the type of person and comes from the type of family that we want around here, but also that in a recruiting battle that Kearney, Tri-City was the place that this player chose to come. So I think that says a lot about our organization as a whole. And we're really excited. It's a special day for us. We think this guy is going to be a fan favorite for years to come and someone who's going to represent us well in all facets of Tri-City Storm hockey. So want to introduce Davis Burnside.
Yeah, first off, I'd just like to thank Coach Noreen, Mr. Lowe, and Mr. Brooks, and the entire Tri-City Storm coaching staff for giving me this opportunity, and I can't wait to get started.
Does anyone have any questions for Davis?
Yeah, obviously Tri-City is such a great organization, but the coaching staff is probably the main reason why I came here. They like the young players and they let them fail. In some organizations, if you make a mistake, they bench them. But Tri-City, they let you learn from your mistakes, and I feel like that's good for a young player like myself. But also the community is so great. They're such a tight-knit community, and everybody supports the program. And it's such a great team to be a part of. Yeah, I feel like I'm a two-way forward that's really good at defense, and then that leads to offense. But I'm also really quick and a good skater, and just bring a lot to the table, and a responsible player that puts the team in front of him before himself. So. Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a lot different than playing what I'm used to. But this summer I'm going to work on getting stronger and just in the weight room a lot, and then just working on my overall skill. But I feel like I'm up to the challenge, and it's just going to be a lot faster than what I'm used to. But just in the weight room a lot this summer, get stronger, and then be ready for next season. So. It's a great town. I really didn't know what to expect when I first came here because I'm from Chicago, so it's a little different. But it's a great town, and just everything is so close to each other, and it's just great town to be with, and everything is so close to each other. So I just can't wait to be here and have the support from everybody and all the fans here. So. Yeah, I'm going to attend the camp in Vegas this June, and I can't wait to be a part of that.
Anybody other questions?
And most important, yeah.
Davis has got one more thing to say, too.
Yeah. Most importantly, I want to thank my parents for everything they've done. I wouldn't be in this point without them, and just thank you for everything they've done. Thanks, guys.
Anybody has any questions for Anthony? You got to ask him quick because he's got to go coach a game. Anybody?
Good. Say that one more time. As far as the tendering of players, well, listen, it's something that Steve and I, and something that comes with value of being around the league. Like, we've both been through it a ton to know what the key things you look for. And guys, I mean, obviously we saw Colby score a goal last night, and we see the strides that those two guys have made. So it's something, it's not an easy thing to do. And you look around our league, and there's a lot of teams that will not take 16-year-old players. They're going to take older guys because the truth is it's easier. It's easier to coach 19 and 20-year-old players than it is 16-year-olds. But for us, and for Kirk as well, we feel like it's more rewarding. You know, you bring in a player like Davis, you see him come in as a kid, and you see him leave here as a responsible young man and a better hockey player. And I think probably, I don't want to speak for Steve, but I think we agree, our biggest success stories with the players we have been the 16-year-old players, sometimes 17-year-old players that we've brought in and see them grow and you know, give them more responsibility maybe than they deserve right away, but learn through the mistakes with them, help them grow up, and, you know, see them go on to success. It's a pretty special thing. Do you think we have a chance to win the Clark Cup? I can tell you one thing. We will unleash every single bit of everything that we have in the tank, from staff to coaching to players. Everything will be left out on that ice. I could guarantee you that. So hope that answers your question. We'll try to do that too. Anything else? That's above my pay grade.
Not sure. That's above our pay grade. We're just worried about the 25.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But all right. He's great. He's great. Steve met him today.
He's quite well. He's 7 months old and he's probably 80 pounds and almost knocked me over. He's a big boy.
All right, thanks again, guys. Again, great day. We're excited for Davis. Thank you guys for showing up. Hopefully we'll have a great game tonight, and hopefully we see everyone next week in the playoffs for a long run. Thanks, guys.